reflecting on what ended up being a gentleman's sweep in the NBA Finals. Victor Wembanyama, 19 points, 14 boards in Game 5, but left the game without shaking the hands of any Knicks players. Here's Wemby immediately following the loss.
It's painful, it's painful. But I'm not running away from that. I'm using that to fuel me, and I'm not satisfied with not winning. This is the biggest lesson of my life. And as a team, there's no better experience than what we just lived. We absolutely dominated for most of the series, but our errors, our mistakes, are punished so hard that we can't have ups and downs like this so much, The ups are okay, the downs, it's the reason we lost. Appreciate y'all. See y'all. Never.
Okay, lot to unpack there, but let's start here. Did Wemby's this finals run, did it help or hurt his image? What do you think?
To me, it helped. I'm going to tell you, I don't agree with everything he does. I certainly don't agree with him and the unsportsmanlike stuff, not shaking hands with the opposition at the end of the finals. But that's it. Outside of that, I got no problems with it whatsoever. The attitude that he has, to me, is what champions are made of for the most part. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but I ain't got no problem with Wemby. Let's put stuff in this proper perspective. He could have done better, no doubt about that. And Big Perk would take care of that because, you know what, Big Perk love big bodies that act like big bodies. And anytime you don't act, you big and you don't act big, Perk got a problem with you. That's how Perk is. Ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Perkins could say that because that was a big boy. And if you knew nothing else about his game, is that he was going to be the big boy on the court. He was going to be out there to hurt you. There's no doubt about it. He didn't give a damn. So Perk could say something like that. I'm going to take it a different angle. Wemby averaged 26 and 11 and 3.6 blocks per game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not like he choked or something like that. Here's what happened. Let me tell you what happened. If you look at him, he was big time at the start of games and the start of the second half. In the fourth quarter was when you looked at him and you're just saying to yourself, where's he at? He's not doing but so much. And I put a lot of that on the coaching because of what you subjected him to. This brother, 39.7 minutes, obviously is what he was averaging. In the fourth quarter, he played 58.4 of a possible 60 fourth quarter minutes. Shoot 34% from the field, 25% from three-point range. He was a minus 20 on the floor during that period of time. When you look at what kind of position they put him in, when you sprinting from sideline to sideline on the baseline, trying to contest corner threes and all this other stuff, he was gassed. When you look at the way the New York Knicks were attacking him, they made him play. Props to Mike Brown and those guys, putting him in situations where he had to switch, he had to guard guys on the perimeter from time to time. They were all over it. Again, Perks is going to sit up there and go like this, with all this crime. What you going to leave for the babies? What you going to leave for the babies? That's Big Perk. And I get that part. I understand it. I'm simply saying the guy's 22 years of age. Yeah, you 7'5", but you rail thin. And the New York Knicks were putting bodies on him. They were getting physical with him. They were wearing him down. And you had, I hate to say this, but a point guard who I love in De'Aaron Fox, who did not have a good series at all. And it was appropriate that he closed out the series the way that he did, shooting 3 of 15 from the field, scoring just 7 points, 1 of 8 from three-point range, being completely ineffective. Because so much about him was supposed to be about running the show, dictating and controlling pace, and saving people from themselves because you just don't know any better. And he didn't do that. He's the 28-year-old. He's the veteran. And he had the ball in his hands at a point guard. And he could have been put to the bench because Dylan Harper could have been there because he was flowing. But Mitch Johnson ultimately put them both on the court together. You would have liked to have seen some on-court leadership from that perspective. Wemby was not flawless. He was not perfect. And I certainly don't applaud him not shaking hands with the opposition at the end of the game. But I also think people are talking about him like it was some choke job. And I'm not saying y'all are doing that, but people are talking about him like some choke job. I didn't see it that way.
I mean, in his first playoff run, the guy went to the NBA Finals, and he's 22 years old. Let's keep that in mind. Perk, help or hurt Wemby's image? What did you think these finals did?
Oh, it helped it. It helped it. And look, I actually applaud Wemby for not shaking hands. Wemby has brought something back to the NBA. He has brought that back to the NBA. If you're not in the Spurs organization, Wemby wakes up and he approaches games and his opponents every single day for him not to be liked. And people could disagree with me, but over the past 15 years, the biggest problem that I've had with the NBA and the players is that they've been too damn friendly. At least Wemby is showing you who he is. He is showing you that I don't like the rest of you. We won't catch videos surfacing of him working out with current players. He may work out with former greats, but he's not trying to be friends with nobody. It's San Antonio or nothing. And that's what the game has been missing. The flagrant fouls, the elbows to the face, the mushing of Jalen Brunson. This is what we love. We want to see that energy. We want to see that tenacity. He don't have to be in a dabbing up mode or mood to go down on the other end and congratulate a New York Knicks team that just kicked his ass, that dominated him, that made him look weak, that showcased and put the world on notice his flaws of not wanting to be a big man. We don't have to. I actually love that. Think about what Wemby has done throughout the course of the season. He brought the energy to the All-Star game that we all been complaining about. Anthony Edwards said it himself, that they had to elevate their game and level of play because of the tenacity that Wemby brought to the table. This young man embraces everything about the NBA, including coming out publicly saying he wants to win the MVP. He want to participate in the dunk contest. I know some people may be in their feelings, but I have no problem, zero, of him not shaking hands and showing sportsmanship after he just lost the NBA Finals. None.
I'm with you guys both. I would just say this. Shaking hands is what you do when you're in the little leagues. When you're in JV, when you're trying to teach about, hey, treat the game the right way. I don't believe that NBA players or professional athletes have to shake hands. Why? Why do I have to do that?
I'll answer both of y'all when y'all finish.
No, I think this is a real thing because we see it all the time in college basketball.
I got a lot to say.
They didn't shake hands. They don't respect the game. Why do I need to shake your hand?
That's part of the obligation.
No, it isn't.
That's part of the rule. That's part of the rule.
Who made it the rule?
I don't know that, but if that's what everyone does.
But here's my thing. Well, I don't have to do it because everybody does it. Like, nobody did make it a rule. I can respect Stephen A. Smith, and when we're done, I don't need to dap him before I go off set. I'm here to debate him. I'm trying to win a debate. And I think it's the same way with the NBA Finals. I get when Isaiah Thomas and all this stuff happened back in the day, but I think it's one of the worst rules for professional sports that I have to show sportsmanship and shake your hand after you beaten me in a moment where maybe I don't want to shake your hand. Maybe I don't like you. I don't need to like you. I don't get paid to like you. I get paid to compete against you, to win championships. So there's no prerequisite that says when the game's over, I need to say, hey, way to kick my ass. No, I can take my ass home, and I can say, you know what, I'll see you next time I see you. And when I see you, I'm going to come for you again. I think it's a bigger topic that we're missing the boat on.
We're not missing the boat. We're on the bigger topic because you're acknowledging that it's a big topic. So we're here. But the point is that you're right, there's no rule. But we have to make up our mind from a societal perspective. When you talk about sportsmanship, I mean, again, not the game, it's over. You're going home for the postseason. These are contemporaries that you have competed against. And there's a level of respect that you should show because they kicked your ass. If you lost, you lost. That's how it is. And nobody's don't equate it like all shaking somebody's hand at the end when it's all over. Don't equate that to, oh my goodness, you know what? I lost and, hell.